Hey, this is Linda Cohn from ESPN, and you're listening to the ML Sports Platter.
Back with you, the ML Sports Platter. Really appreciate the support. Download, subscribe, leave feedback, and a 5-star review all over Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the pod on Stitcher, the Podbean app, YouTube, and Tumblr. We are presented by the official college and title sponsor of the ML Sports Platter, Bryant and Stratton College. And let's bring in the head Bobcats men's basketball coach in the central New York area. Remember, two awesome locations, James Street and Carling Road in Liverpool off of Route 31. It's a great time to be a Bobcat. Get in on the action, athletics, academics, excellence, you name it. Log on to bryantstratton.edu, by the way, for more. It is Danny Frisina, our weekly guest. Danny, welcome back, man. Awesome to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me again on, Mike.
You bet. How about the week that was and the week to be? And we're getting right to it now, right to the end.
Yeah. So actually, yesterday I was helping a couple of my guys move out. This was it. This is the last couple of days, and then a lot of guys are heading home. Graduation is actually tomorrow, so I'll be there, and then next week hit the recruiting trail hard again. So even though we've finished our first full season, our first full school year as a basketball team, it kind of continues on, and we start to continue to build for next year.
Along the lines of, some guys going back home, many of them are going back downstate, to New York City. And I had David Bove on, the new director of soccer operations and head coach, and he talked about that New York City pipeline and how huge it is for you guys, Danny.
Yeah, it really has been a huge help. I mean, there's just an abundance of kids down there, and not all of them, there's only so many schools in that tri-state area in New York City in general, or more specifically. And there's just so many kids that are looking for a spot. So we go down there, and we've had pretty good success over the years, especially our men's and women's soccer program. And that's kind of where, that pipeline is extended out to some of these other sports, with men's and women's basketball starting up. And the majority of my roster this past season was compiled of kids from down in that area. So I'm going to go down there and attend a showcase and see what else is out there. And we're just, the pool keeps on growing. We got to build that funnel of students. It's eventually going to wind itself down because kids, they either like us or they don't, and that's fine. Bryant and Stratton, it's not for everybody. And but we will have them up on a visit and show them what it's about. And, we build a funnel of 30 kids, and it dwindles itself down. So we had a good recruiting event last week, and that yielded some interest. So we're going to do that again, both men's and women's basketball, men's and women's soccer. Cross-country coach is going to be down there as well. So the whole athletic department is going to be covering New York City, and Bryant and Stratton will be spreading like wildfire down there again next week.
Danny, what would you say was the highlight of your basketball season?
I think the highlight would probably be starting it and finishing it with the same group of guys. And, the success on the court wasn't, like I've said over the last couple times being on here, it wasn't exactly what we expected or what we wanted. But I don't consider that to be a highlight or a low light. I think the fact that this is a first-year program, let's not forget that. So the fact that we were able to get a team together and compete at a pretty good level and stay in a lot of these games was the highlight, I think, and it gives reason for optimism going into year two with a lot of these guys coming back. So I'd say the highlight is in starting and finishing the season, and that was the success in and of its own, is starting this thing from scratch in the fall of 2017. And then, now we're in the spring of 2019 after a full year. And, now that we've gone through the trials of a season and seeing what worked and what didn't work, I'm real optimistic to see what we can do in year two.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Bryant and Stratton College, the official Title sponsor in College of the ML Sports Platter. We've got our weekly guest, the head Bobcats men's hoops coach, Danny Frisina, of course, in the Central New York area. 2 great locations. And for people who haven't been to those locations, Danny, why don't you give them kind of an idea of what they can expect, next couple, open houses, next semester. They want to come and see some people. What can they expect on campus?
Yeah, so physically, the buildings are completely different. Our North Campus up in Liverpool, right off Route 31 on Carling Road. It's one level. It's pretty spread out, but as opposed to the downtown location, which is multiple levels, it goes more up, where the one in Liverpool goes, side to side, and it's all flat in one level. The downtown one has dorms for our student athletes and for students outside the immediate area. So with that, it also has a dining hall / cafeteria for those students, and it's just a different vibe, and not better or worse, but it's just a different vibe. I think the people, the faculty, the administration at both campuses are right on par. They're both excellent to work with. I've actually moved my office from the North Campus to the downtown campus over the last week. So I'm going to be, my home base will mostly be now at the downtown campus. But the people at both, whether it's an admissions rep, academic advisors, financial aid, or if you're in sports, our athletic director, it's the people at both locations are super helpful, always open to talking to any potential students or parents and trying to help you out the best way possible to be a successful student. And we're going to hear tomorrow at graduation, it's both North and downtown students at graduation, and you'll hear a bunch of stories tomorrow about from a couple students, their firsthand experience of what Bryant and Stratton has meant to them and how it helped them succeed. And that's the most rewarding part of being just a member of this college and seeing what the difference just one person life can change by coming to school here.
All right, so last night I'm watching the NBA, and I thought of you, and then I tweeted because I thought of you. And all these jamokes, Danny, spent all week trying to create the Warriors' demise.
Right.
Kevin Durant is a drama queen. Well, he is, but he's not happy there anymore. He's definitely going to go. They don't look right. Their Cousins is down. All this stuff, and then they promptly go to L.A. They play in a hostile environment on the road, a Clipper team that's riding waves and waves of confidence, and they just destroyed them.
Yeah. And I actually have a friendly wager with a buddy of mine. I took the Warriors. He took the field to win the finals. Now, I understand that the odds are obviously in his favor, but the Warriors can lose DeMarcus Cousins. If you're going to lose one guy from this team, that's a star.
Yep.
That's the guy you're okay. I mean, obviously you'd love to have him, but they've won, 3 championships without him. He was a bonus piece this past offseason. So it stinks that he's not on that roster, but it's not like they can't survive without him. Was that the loss the other night, to any other team, that would probably be devastating and a series crusher. But these guys, they take after their coach. Steve Kerr does a great job of keeping these guys composed and focused on the bigger picture. And, if the roles were reversed and the Clippers were up 31 and then lost the game, that's probably spells the end of the series. But you can never count a team with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green out of it. You just can't. And did I think that the Warriors were going to go undefeated this playoffs? Absolutely not. Next round when they play the Rockets, that could go 7 games easily. I just don't see any team beating the Warriors 4 out of 7 games at any point this season. So the Clippers, the way they lost, it was kind of shocking. And then you get all your hot takes from it. But the Warriors are going to lose some games this postseason, and at the end of the day, I think they're just the best team, and it's whoever comes out of the East. And actually, I think the Western Conference is going to happen next round. The Western Conference Finals will happen next round with the Warriors and Rockets, and then the winner of that kind of doesn't have a hard route really after that to get to the finals. There are some good teams that could push them. Trailblazers, Nuggets. Those teams can push them a little bit, but I think the Rockets and the Warriors are the two best teams in the West. And we'll see what kind of happens from there.
I really want a Sixers-Warriors final.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a blast,
I also think that the Celtics, they have talent, sure, and they could play that kind of spread out system as well. And if there's three teams that come out of the East, the 76ers, Celtics, and Bucks would be exciting teams to watch. Outside of that, I don't think that there's any team that can really compete with the better teams in the West. So, yeah, the 76ers would be a good matchup, barring Embiid stays healthy. But I think it's between them and the Celtics as far as like that style of play, that up-tempo, spread them out type deal. Would be exciting to see against the Warriors.
All right, Danny, in closing, why don't we give the listeners an idea of where to get a hold of you all over social media and where to find Bryant and Stratton all over Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it.
Yes, so if you go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com, that's our athletic website. You can go there and catch up on the latest, whether it's scores, updates, any new news, hiring of a coach or what, all that's posted up there. All our information's on there as well. If you're a recruit and you're interested in checking us out, you can fill out a recruitment form on there. You can apply to the college on that website as well. BryantStratton.edu, of course, is just our general college page as well. You can find us at BSC Bobcats on both Instagram and Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Coach Frisina. I try to stay as active on there as possible, and I try to communicate with potential recruits or our guys, other coaches, and then just the general public, just to get the word out there. I'm also on Facebook at Dan Frisina. We have BSC Bobcats SYR or Bryant Stratton Bobcats SYR on Facebook as well. So we try to cover all the platforms and recognize our student athletes when they achieve something, as well as kind of market our program and our school.
It's all great stuff, and certainly the Bobcat momentum grows by the day. And visit them online at bryantstratton.edu and bscbobcats.com. Of course, the two campus locations in central New York, James Street and Carling Road in Liverpool off of Route 31. And the head men's basketball coach for the Bobcats is Danny Frisina, a weekly guest. Danny, we'll do it again soon. It looks like we're finally clear a winner, and we'll have to grab a lunch outside and actually breathe some clean air.
Yeah, I'm going to have to dust off the clubs. I haven't gone out and played in quite a while, so that should be interesting as well, as long as it stays fairly mild. Hope to get out there soon. But, yeah, I would love to meet up sometime with you.
You can hit me on Twitter at Mike L. Sports and Mike L. Sports 1979 on Instagram as well. The podcast is all over Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, as well as Stitcher, the Podbean app, and YouTube and Tumblr. Thanks to Bryant and Stratton College. Thanks to Danny Frisina. As I always tell you, folks, enjoy the games.